one of the big things here, especially with the SEC, is rivalries.
Yes.
And there's a long history of rivalries and back and forth and good old fashioned hate and all the different things that kind of go into that. So I would like you to, in 500 words or less,
Yeah.
give us your pure, unfiltered feelings on Florida's, what I would say is probably their two biggest rivals, which would be Tennessee and Georgia.
Yeah.
But I do want to throw in there real quick. My mom does listen to this podcast,
Okay.
so let's keep it PG-13,
Yeah,
please.
no, my mom will, when we share this, my mom and dad will be listening too. So, it's interesting because when I was in college, I think we beat Tennessee all 4 years, and then we beat
Yeah, you
Georgia
did.
3 of those 4 years. And the one year that Georgia won was the year that they all stormed the field and started dancing in the end zone and
Yep.
all that kind of stuff. Brandon Spikes was able to repay the favor the next year. But I'll tell you what, it stinks right now with Georgia being as good as they are. There's
Doesn't
nothing
it?
more
It's the
frustrating.
worst.
I
Can
mean,
all agree on that.
just a
Oh my.
frustrating fan base to be at the top of the pedestal right now. Their fans are
New
barking.
money. It's new
They're
money.
wearing they're wearing the chest pads with the spikes on them. One of the my favorite Steve Spurrier quotes is he's like, "I always liked playing Georgia in the first 2 games of the year because you could always count on a few players being suspended."
I'm familiar with that one.
That's a
I
great
would
line.
love nothing more than Kirby Smart to be tapped on the shoulder and say, "Hey, it's time for you to go to the NFL," the same way Nick Saban did when he was at LSU. And I will never forgive Nick Saban for leaving my Miami Dolphins to go to Alabama, because not only did he choose Dante Culpepper over Drew Brees, he left us in the middle of the night, and then he goes on this like unbelievable run. So Nick Saban is Satan in my book. But I'll tell you what.
Easy, Jesse. Take it easy, Jesse.
Yeah,
Relax.
you
Take a
got
Not
breath.
after yesterday.
Hey,
That's
I asked for his pure and unfiltered
I
thoughts. This
know.
is what we're
true.
getting.
That's fine.
I'll tell you what. No, Nick Saban is the goat of college football coaching. I'll tell you what. I obviously Florida and Georgia play every year in Jacksonville. I always had great experiences with them. The fan base is great, other than the ones that are barking at you. But I was able to go.
I don't do that. Just for the record, I don't
Yeah,
really do that.
Wes is one of the good ones. He
I
doesn't
can
do
confirm
that.
he does not do that.
I love that. So we went to the Florida Tennessee game in 2009 up in Neyland. I had a great time in Knoxville. Went to Calhoun's after the game, which was a lot of fun. But had a great experience there. I mean, other than the fact that the seats that they sold like to the University of Florida to them that they sold to the student section were,
Up top.
I mean,
Mhm.
you were high-fiving God when they scored a touchdown,
Yeah.
right? So so that was a lot of fun. It's funny. I don't really have a lot of negative things to say about SEC fans as a whole. I think most of them like enjoy the pageantry, care a lot about their team, but at the end of the day, like as long as you're not fighting people, and that can be in any fan base. I saw two Florida Gator fans fighting last year at the UF Tennessee game. I'm like, what are we doing here? Right? This is sport. So no, I've always had great experiences. Tennessee fans are, I'll give you guys credit. You guys are probably the most wild of the fan bases that have been around in terms of what you
get
guys
around.
wear and just kind of the hodgepodge of the population that it brings out. It's entertaining.